It's time for a Thrivapy moment with me, Dr. Troy Roddy.
Hello, I'm Dr. Troy Roddy, and I'm here today at Thrivapy World Headquarters, which also happens to be my kitchen. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to start your school year off strong, especially if you're a middle or high school student or the parent of a middle or high school student. One tip I can give parents that most people don't do is to have a conversation before school starts or right near the beginning of school where you, as the parent and the student, get together and talk about your expectations for the coming school year, your hopes and dreams. What do you wish is done and accomplished during that school year? Now, I know that some middle and high school students have trouble having conversations like this with their parents. So here's an extra tip. If your child is not one that opens up very easily to you about school, do something with it. Plan something together and try to get the conversation started through mutual activity. For example, go take a walk if the weather's not too hot outside for you. Ride a bike. Go for a bike ride. Go for a hike at a local park if you want. Cook a meal together. Go to lunch together. That's a good thing to do maybe on a weekend or a weekday. Take off work. Set aside some special time to have this conversation about the coming school year and the expectations of that school year. Now, within that conversation, I always try to suggest a couple of things. One is for both people in the conversation, the parent and the child, to describe what maybe the ideal school year looks like. So if you put yourself in the future, the school year is ending, things went about as well as you could possibly imagine them going. What happened? What does that look like? Describe that to each other. Now, the reality is things aren't always going to go as planned. So as much as you can anticipate whatever roadblocks are going to get in the way of that ideal year, talk about those. Might be a time commitment, outside activities, work schedules, anything that might get in the way of what you would consider the ideal final year opportunity or experience is. Lay that on the table as early as you can. The third part, after you've described your ideal year, identified some roadblocks, and the third part is what can you do to overcome some of those roadblocks. So if you know what might happen during the school year, as much as you can anticipate a plan to deal with it when it comes up, probably the better equipped you are to overcome that roadblock when it comes. So, first of all, have a conversation. If you need help starting the conversation, engage in some activity together to maybe get a conversation rolling. Once you start talking about your hopes and dreams for the school year, talk about your ideal year. What does that look like? What roadblocks may prevent you from actually reaching that point? And then what can you do to overcome those roadblocks? Here's a bonus tip. Anytime the parent and the student and the child agree with each other, write that down, record it, because as the school year goes along, you may want to refer to that as a shared expectation, as a shared hope and dream and desire for the school year. Where you don't agree, mark that down as places to have ongoing conversation. Maybe bring your school into that conversation, counselors, teachers, administrators, so forth, because that might be something you want to discuss as you go on through the year. Hey, listen, I hope that was helpful for you, especially if you're a middle or high school student or the parent of a middle or high school student. If you have a question or comment for me, please feel free to send me an email. I can be reached at troy@thrivapy.com. That's THRIVAPY.com. Troy@thrivapy.com. Of course, you can visit Thrivapy's website, www.thrivapy.com. And I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.